Hello scrappers, it's time for gold recovery today. So these are my gold pins, really well gold plated. I also have some pins from calculators. These are the keyboard contacts, and I will use gold stripping agent. Let's check how much gold we have in these pins. So I will start the heating and put it at about 50 degrees. And I will start the steering, so let's see if it's working. It's too small. So what a nice rotation. And now it's time for our gold stripping agent. This is eco-goldex E-series. Let's put it in and let's start the ventilation. So we have 100 milliliters of water, as you can see, and we have 5 grams of eco-goldex E-series. So let's wait until it is fully dissolved, and we can continue with the gold recovery or gold stripping as a first point. Okay, so this magnetic stirrer is too small for my beaker. I will use bigger one, here it is, and remove the small one. Let's start the big one. Here we go. But just to show you, look at this magnetic stirrer. It's covered with small black particles. This is iron. So let's wait until eco-goldex is fully dissolved, and we'll continue with the gold stripping. Okay, so it takes at about 3-4 minutes on 50 degrees and moderate speed of steering eco-goldex to be dissolved, and the working temperature is 50 degrees, so just keep solution warm. Let's remove the stirrer now, and let's start with let's remove the stirrer, and always remove the beaker from the stirrer, because it's magnetic. You see, it's magnetic, and it will stick to the plate, so you can't remove it easily. Okay, now it's time to put our fingers. Let's start with this. They're from 1980s computer sockets. So let's wait and see how long it will take solution to react and to strip the gold from these pins. And don't forget, use gloves, use glasses or face shields, and always use these solutions in a well ventilated area. You're not supposed to inhale the fumes. Okay, some more about eco-goldex. So its solution is working now, but let's check the pH. Let's check the pH of this solution, because it's really important to know to properly work. This solution should be alkaline, should be extremely alkaline. And let's look now at our scale. So yes, this is pH 13 to 14. So it's an alkaline solution. Therefore, eco-goldex is so-called alkaline stripping agent. There are quite many on the market, and they are working in alkaline solution because there are cyanide anions in them. And just cyanide and acid doesn't work. So that's why all these gold stripping agents you can find on eBay, you can find on some Chinese sites, they work in strong alkaline solution. There is cyanide inside. That's the reason. It's about 7-8 minutes later, and It's really difficult to say if gold plating is removed or not, because the color of the solution is brownish yellowish, so when you look at the pins, they always look gold plated. But actually, when you put them to the outside from the solution, you may see that they are already perfectly white. There is nickel disposed. There is nothing like a gold on top of them. So from my perspective, we are ready with this batch, and let's transfer the solution in another beaker. Here we go. Yep, so you can see there is no gold, just the color comes from the color of the solution. Let me rinse it 1-2 times to be sure we are not losing gold. Yep, you can see no gold left on these pins. And these are really good, thick, well plated pins. I'll rinse them twice. Yep, you see, all of them are white. It's nickel, no gold left. And now I think we reached at about 50 degrees temperature of this solution. We can put our next batch. These are from electronic calculators. Let's wait a couple of minutes and let's see how quickly this will be dissolved. It's at about 10 minutes later, so let's quickly check what's going on here. Almost no gold left on these metal springs, on these metal contacts that I removed from calculators. That's great. Let's wait a minute. So it's 50 minutes later and I think it's time to remove this. Let's use the previous beaker. I will just transfer the solution there. You see, easy, no flushes, no splashes, no drops around. Just, yep, perfect white. Oh, look at this, I will rinse them a little. Just to be sure that I'm not losing gold. Look at this color, no gold at all. It's perfect. Perfect white. Only the nickel is disposed. Here you go. Let's rinse them well. You can probably see this nice color. So I will put them on this glass watch just to make it easy for you to see the result and the effect. You can see no gold plating at all. Perfectly stripped, 100% of the gold. That's great. Okay. But this solution still has some potential probably to strip more gold. But I'll stop here. Let's check how much gold we have in these pins. So, what is the next step? I should add some sodium hydroxide because pH is 13-14, but to drop the gold with zinc we need extremely alkaline solution. So that's why I will put a couple of drops of sodium hydroxide. Actually, you see, it's how it looks like. You can put just 1 or 2 grams to be sure that the solution will be really alkaline. That's the reason for adding this sodium hydroxide. Let's put a little bit more. So here it doesn't matter how much you can put from 1 to 5 grams. It's perfectly fine, and you see it quickly dissolves because it's a warm solution. So perfectly fine. Okay, let's wait for the sodium hydroxide to dissolve, and let's prepare for the next step, which is filtering. Okay, so we are ready to filter. Let's slowly filter this solution. No need of vacuum filtering or whatever, just use the standard filter paper. You see how quickly it goes, and always touch the beaker with the funnel so it will not splash or drop. That's really important. You see how quickly it goes, and this really nice cover of the solution tells me there is a lot of gold, probably at least 0.2, 0.3 grams of gold. But we'll know this later. So if you want to speed up the filtering, I can tell you, you can take some plastic and put it like this. You see how quickly it goes now? Because you let air go into the funnel. But you have to be careful not to punch the filter. Okay, let's rinse a couple of times. We don't want to lose gold. And one more time. You see how dirty the filter is? This is everything you don't want to see into your This is everything you don't want to see in your gold. All this dirt on the filter. So I will try to rinse the filter with distilled water a little bit. Because we don't want also the filter to be yellow at the end, because yellow filter means gold in the filter. All yellowish or brownish solutions should go into the beaker, and we should use it to recover our gold. We don't need the yellow liquid stuck into the pores of the filter. So let's rinse it a little bit more. You see, the drops that are falling, they are yellowish still. You should continue rinsing until the drops are perfectly transparent. And it goes really quickly, the filtering. Let me rinse it for the last time. And I'll be back when ready to add zinc and reduce our gold. Filtering is over, so now I can slowly lift it up. If there is something that is planning to drop, I will just move it a little bit aside and leave this beaker. And let's focus now to the gold recovery. I'm transferring the solution into a little bit bigger beaker, just because I want to have enough volume when I'm adding zinc. And let's start adding zinc. How much zinc? At about 5 grams. I think will be enough. But let's start. First of all, slowly start our stirrer. So the idea is to make it really effective. You add the zinc and you see how it turns to be brown. That's the purpose. It should not be zinc color, it should be brownish. This means your gold is dropping. You see how the color changed? And I'm heating a little bit and my stirrer is on just to speed up the reaction. So the zinc particles to be able to react with the gold dissolved and to reduce the gold to gold zero. Let me put a little bit more zinc and just add the powder slowly because you don't need it to aggregate on the bottom. You need the zinc powder to react, to be in this zinc storm that you see in the beaker. Here we go, and the most important is this solution to be alkaline. To reduce the gold, it should be extremely alkaline. Let's speed up the stirring a little bit. Here we go. We want the reaction to go and our gold to drop. I think that's enough. This is excessive zinc considering the amount of gold we have. So if you see that there is black floating inside, that's your gold. That's what we chase. And I see black particles floating inside. So I think we did good job with the reduction. I'll leave it for a while to be sure it will fully react. And let's see how it looks like probably 10 minutes after reduction. Okay, so it's time to add nitric acid. Always do this in a ventilated hood because there may be some left cyanide inside, and just add drops. Start the stirring and add small drops. Continue adding nitric acid and reaction continues. So obviously there is a lot of zinc inside and solution is quite hot. Okay, so the gold we got looks like really fine, and I'll try to filter it, not to wait for it to precipitate and to fall on the bottom. So I will use this filter and just try to get my gold separated from the solution. Let's speed up a little bit the filtration. So what is left on the filter will be my gold. Here we go. It's quite quick filtration. This is our empty beaker. This is our nitric acid, and here in the filter is our gold. So you can see how fine this gold is. So that's the reason why I didn't wait for it to precipitate and to collect it on the bottom of the beaker. I just decided to filter it, and now I'll take this filter and I'll put it in this beaker and add aqua regia. So, as I said, let's take this filter and put it here in the beaker. I'll put on top 10 milliliters of hydrochloric acid. Here we go. So we have our inside we have our gold and we have hydrochloric acid. Now let's start adding nitric acid. Really slowly. Already added a couple of drops. So you see how the color changes? It's the nice yellow color of the gold. And we are ready. It's dissolved. So you see, no splashes, no issues, no difficulties. It's so easy. Here, this is your gold, no black. This is our nice yellow solution of gold. And what is the next step? Next step is to get rid of the acids, because we have aqua regia inside. A lot of nitric acid, hydrochloric acid, and some nitric acid probably left. So what I will use? I will use sodium acetate. So let me add. Here we go. And we are heating slowly. So what is happening now? I have two strong acids. I have hydrochloric acid and I have nitric acid. When I add this sodium acetate, it's actually at the end I will end up with weak acid, which is the acetic acid, and with sodium chloride and sodium nitrate. So I'm changing the acidity. I'm going from extremely acid to moderate acid. I'm going from aqua regia to acetic acid here, because acetic acid is a weak acid. Let's wait for a while to get rid of these strong acids. You see, acetic acid, it's really quickly dissolving. So I will add a little bit more. The most important thing to recover your gold is to get rid of the nitric acid. So this is a really important step. If you don't properly get rid of your nitric acid, you will not be able to precipitate fully, or to precipitate in aggregated big particles your gold. You may get your gold really fine, black powder or brown powder that is difficult to collect, and it's difficult to melt. So I already feel the smell of acetic acid, which is really nice. I prefer the smell of acetic acid than the smell of the hydrochloric acid. Let's put a little bit more. Now I can skip the gloves, because what I have inside is not aqua regia, it's not dangerous. It's acetic acid, it's a mild irritant. It will not harm me if and I will increase a little bit the heating. I want this solution to be at about 70 degrees probably. Because best temperature for precipitating gold is 70 to 80 degrees when you use the precipitant I will use later, you'll see it. Now comes the question, when should I stop adding acetic acid? When I am ready, when I have enough acetic acid to get rid of the nitric. Look here. Here is the answer. The pH. You see the pH is at about probably 2, 3, 4, somewhere here. Which means you have you just got rid of your nitric acid. You just got rid of your hydrochloric acid. This is the acetic acid. We are here. So if you go above the zone of 0,1, this means you're ready. You're good to go. Just add a little bit more to be on the safe side after this point, and you are ready to go. You're ready to precipitate your gold. You see it filters really quickly, but you have to well rinse it, not to leave some gold on the filter. Okay guys, so it's time to recover our gold. Temperature is at about 80 degrees. I have ferrum sulfide here, and I have my solution gold containing here. Look at this, huh? Okay guys, so that's the final product. Looks like 0.3, 0.4 grams of gold, which is as per the expectations. So keep scrapping and don't forget to recover the gold. Bye.